Dejan Lovren gives Liverpool the kiss of death. Barcelona could announce a new defender today. Gareth Bale hits top form for Real Madrid, and things return to normal in North London. That and more coming up in the next few minutes, as I'm your host Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. Up first, and is Liverpool's unbeaten run about to come to an end? That's because Dejan Lovren has come out and said that he thinks they can go unbeaten all season. The last time he made such a bold statement about him being the best centre-back in the world, things went rapidly downhill from there, and right now he's probably not in Liverpool's best starting 11, with Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk filling those roles. So with that said, don't be surprised to see if they lose to Wolves on Friday night. But talking of Wolves and talking of centre-backs, they could be in for a new Portuguese player. That's right, another one is going to be brought into the club in the form of Pepe. The Besiktas centre-back had his contract cancelled with the Turkish club after they couldn't pay his wages. So the 35-year-old is a free agent, and come January, we could see one of the most aggressive centre-backs football has ever seen pull on the gold of Wolves. Talking of centre-backs, and Barcelona's search for a new defender continues, and apparently they could reveal who they're about to sign today. Now, it's been no secret from Ernesto Valverde that he wants a new defender. First off, Vermaelen definitely isn't at the level that Barcelona need their centre-backs to be. Umtiti's having a problem with his injuries, Lenglet's fitting in okay, but not really ready to take on the mantle just yet, and Pepe is aging considerably, even though he probably won't admit it himself. Add on to the top of this that they bought Yerry Mina and then shipped him off 6 months later, it's fair to say that they've been in the market for a while now. But who are they going to go and find? Well, Valverde cast his net far and wide all over Europe, and all that returned was an aging Branislav Ivanovic, who probably isn't worth the money at this stage, and Daniele Rugani, who Juventus are determined to hang on to and won't sell for love nor money. So this means that there are two options which, as said before, could be announced today. One of them is Valencia's Jason Murillo, who's impressed in La Liga, and the second is Andreas Christensen from Chelsea. Now, the Chelsea board have said that they will do everything to hold on to their Danish defender, but he's not getting the regular football, so he may be tempted to move to Barcelona to get more game time. The likes of Rudiger and David Luiz have held down the centre-back spot this season, so it doesn't look like Christensen will be getting much game time. I mean, he's only got one Premier League appearance to his name this season. Christensen is seen as a future prospect with the aging Gary Cahill and David Luiz, but for now, he'll probably want to get his career kick-started, and when Barcelona come knocking, it's pretty hard to turn them down. Despite this though, Murillo does look like the most transfer to happen, with Valencia not necessarily in the best bargaining position financially. And up next to Real Madrid, who are currently competing in the Club World Cup, and Gareth Bale is on absolute fire. He smashed in 3 fantastic goals in the semi-final, which sees them through to the final. But Real Madrid will be hoping that he can take this form back to La Liga after the winter break. For some reason, Gareth Bale seems to be able to do the business in the Champions League, but not in the league. Since the international break at the beginning of September, Bale has scored just 1 goal. That's right, just 1 goal since 3 months. Alongside Karim Benzema, who doesn't seem to be able to find the back of the net for love nor money, Real Madrid definitely have a striking problem. So, come January, expect them... Oh, for f***'s sake. Ryan? Let there be light. So expect Real Madrid to go into the transfer market and for them to be linked with the likes of Pulisic, Icardi and Eden Hazard over the next few months. Whether or not they'll sign those players in January is yet to be seen. It's an awful lot of money to part way with in January, and more often than not, the clubs who are selling can't always find a replacement. Whether or not they'll part with this much money in the January transfer remains to be seen. It's not that they're not willing to pay, it's just that the selling clubs often don't have that much time to go and find a replacement and will probably prefer their deals to be done in the summer. And lastly but not least, I'm sure you will have a lot to say about this, but things have returned to normal in North London. After beating Spurs a few weeks ago, there was all this talk about North London being red, Arsenal being back in the glory days and all this nonsense. Well, 2 weeks later, they're sitting in 5th, 5 points behind Spurs in 3rd, and have just been knocked out of the cup at their own stadium, and with a clean sheet for Spurs as well. That doesn't sit too well for Arsenal, who, despite injury worries, are behind their North London rivals in pretty much everything. This is also their North London rivals who have big injury worries, had to play a left back at centre back, have no stadium, have the constant threat of their manager being poached by Manchester United, and didn't make any signings in the summer either. It doesn't look too good for Arsenal fans at the moment. Of course, if you guys can come on here and give it to me, I'll give it straight back to you when Tottenham do eventually win. Arsenal fans, I want to hear from you in the comment section as you enjoy that nice slice of humble pie. And also, whilst you're there, let me know just how Aubameyang is better than Harry Kane. Please, I'm waiting to hear all of your reasons why he is much better than England's talisman. Aside from this though, the game last night was actually pretty good. Although it looked quite easy for Spurs at a 2-0 scoreline, Arsenal did have a lot of possession and far more shots, but in the end the clinical finishing of Heung-min Son and Dele Alli was the difference. Speaking of Dele Alli though, shame on you for whoever threw the bottle at his head, just like shame on the Spurs fan who threw the banana at Aubameyang. No one wants to see that when you go to football games, and don't be doing that sort of stuff if you guys go over the Christmas period and beyond. I'm all for a big rivalry and enjoying the banter, but you don't want to see that in the stadium, and don't even get me started on the small section of Chelsea fans either. Of course, let me know in the comment section below everything on today's daily news, and Arsenal fans, I especially want to hear from you. Come on, come at me. And if you don't feel like doing it in the comment section, you can always head over to my Twitter, Matt_Froelich, to have a go at me there. Whilst you're also doing that, you can smash the like button, click here to check out all the other videos we've got going on Onefootball, and have a great day. I will see you later.